What is up everybody, Ronnie here from Canva and welcome to another tutorial special CCC edition. Today I have a very special show for you, and when I say special, I mean special. Today my guest is Mr. Ramon Quintero from Rochester, New York. He's joining us today. Ramon is a graphic designer. He works for his church as a graphic designer, so helping with the church, you know, like all graphic design, and right now during this stay-at-home period is also helping put together this live streaming so that the show can go on in the church for people who want to practice. So Ramon is going to be here with us today for a good half an hour. Ramon, are you here? And what are we going to learn with you today?
Hi, Ronnie. So today we are going to be learning about just different techniques, different things that I look at, different things that I do to prepare a project and a graphic that I've shared on Canva. So we'll go through some of those steps in terms of what websites I go to, what fonts I use, where I get inspiration from. So that will be a combination of the things that I will be doing today in today's segment and covering this poster that I'll be creating.
Ramon, my first question to you, with so much going on social media, you know, so much content, people scrolling through their feeds all day long, how do you stop the scroll? Like, how do you use graphic design to get people's attention?
Yes, Ronnie, stopping the scroll is essential. It is a key. And one of the best ways to be able to do that is to be able to just see what's trending, see what's working, see what's getting the highest numbers out there. Looking at different feeds from social media. Instagram is my go-to place to be able to get inspiration, be able to see other artists, other designers, and just be encouraged to see what can be done, what new tricks are out there, and then being able to implement them in my design. Instagram has been my biggest influence in terms of my style and get ideas. So I highly recommend start following some designers, get inspired, and start following them so that you could just continue to improve in the design aspect of how you do graphic design.
Ramon, the community has been loving your tutorial, the stuff that you've put in the design circle, the different posts, the neon tutorial, all this good stuff was really appreciated by the community. So I wanted to kind of invite you to be our guest for this CCC tutorial series, because I know you can teach us so many things. So today I would like to kind of put you in the lion's cage and ask you to design something for us in Canva so we can all learn from your workflow, from your process, and from your creativity. So if you're okay, I would like to put you in a little bit of a situation. Let's imagine that you've been contracted by a local cafe owners who needs to design a poster to tell his clientele that the cafe is not open for public, but we are still making coffee for takeaways. So how would you create that poster? I'd love for you to guide us through your process for creating such a poster with Canva. Would you?
All right. So the task has been given, a poster for a cafe, and how to encourage them to, know that we're still serving the community. We're still helping. We're still providing drinks. We're providing food, and being able to create this poster. I think I'll walk through the importance of diving into getting a consistency in the brand, a logo, a particular style. Where do I want to set this? Do I want to promote people? Do I want to promote a place or a building? So let's dive in. Let's dive into this project, and I'll go ahead and I'll start talking a little bit about where the logo's inspiration came from, where I found my fonts, and also some of the techniques that are found within Canva that you could apply for your next project. This project is a little lengthy, so let's just dive in right away and go from there. Hope you enjoy. So in this project, I am going to start off with a blank canvas. As you can see, I have just a simple idea that I want to start off with, a cafe logo. I want to start off with the logo to see what direction I'm going to go with this particular project. I will say that I did take some time to kind of brainstorm on what direction I would go if I was to do a poster to promote a coffee drink, or to just encourage people to come to my store and or my cafe to purchase a drink on the go. So with the blank canvas, I'm looking at a logo idea. So I'm going to walk you through some of the process of what I do, look for some ideas, some inspiration, then determine either some of the fonts that are within Canva, or because I am using the pro version, to be able to then download some and import them into Canva. But with that being said, let's just dive in and walk you through some of the basics. I'm going through here, seeing some of the different examples on the templates that Canva already has to offer. I like to start off with some inspiration, so I usually go and visit Design Inspiration. In here you'll see just a variety of different things that are happening with different designs. I would go in here and just say coffee logo, and just get a feel for what's out there, what people have done, get some inspiration, kind of like what's going on here. Very unique with the fonts, some of the styles for the thunder and the coffee cup, and just get an idea, get a good scope of what's out there, what people are doing, what's eye-catching. And just go in here. I like the coffee bean, obviously that's always a popular icon when it comes to doing a coffee logo. Very much what's going on here. So I usually visit the Design Inspiration for ideas, and after I kind of just search through, I get a good feel like, all right, I think I would like to try and do something along the lines of, something right here, something right here, and definitely something like with this particular style of big letters. So I have 3 ideas right here that I kind of see that are favorable. So at this point, I do this part, and then from this stage I like to then kind of determine what kind of font direction do I want to go. So I then go to this particular website. It is called Font Space. In Font Space, all of these fonts are either free or commercial free, which is great because it works good for different projects that I would be doing. So I would go in here, and then I would start off with, as you can see, Font Space. I would start off with this category right here, which is commercial fonts. In the commercial fonts, I know that even if I pick a font from here, I'm going to be in a safe zone. I don't have to worry about copyright issues or anything like that, and it's going to be something that I can import into Canva without no problem. So I would go in here and just browse, kind of see the different fonts. I would even sometimes put a letter on here and just say cafe, just to see an idea of what are some of the options. After I see something that I like, for example, I can continue to go on the next page and see what else I can get. But ideally, if I find something that I want to try out, like this one right here, I would then just go and click on this and see some other examples on here. I would then have the option to download, which is going to be right here, and I would download the file. At this point, I would download it, go into Canva, go back in here, and then import it into my fonts. Which I already did that process. I went through, got some examples of different fonts that I really liked, that stood out, and I ended up downloading them into Canva, so they're ready for me to use when I choose them. So I'm going to start off, I am going to be doing a poster, but I'm going to start off with just a quick logo and then go right into the poster. The poster, I have it set up right here. As you can see, 24 by 36 poster, Canva, blank Canva. I'm going to start off with the logo, and you'll see why I'm going to start off with this one to be able to brand the overall concept of this poster. So let's start off with that. And I do have a folder that I put a lot of the elements that I want to use for this particular project. Elements that I have found in Canva. So as you can see right here, elements. You can see some of the elements that I've been messing around with, YouTube, clouds, dots. So some of these things are in here as a recently used. So I was kind of looking for some of these leaves, some beans, this stamp right here or badge, and some of the other things that I really liked about some of the elements in Canva. So let's go ahead and work off of this badge right here. And I'm going to go with the image, the same thing with images. I also took some time to browse through some different images that dealt with coffee. Some of these are the recent ones, so I'm going to go with the recent ones right here and just go search through some of these, and I ended up going with this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it in and adjust the color of this particular one, because I do want to make it a little bit darker. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust that right now. And see something that would work for me. I'm going to keep playing around with this particular image and see what exactly I want to do with that. So let's just continue to just tweak this color to something a little bit darker with a little bit more boldness in the color. So let's do that. And lose and I think I want to stick with that, so I'm going to leave that the way that it is. There's the background. I'm going to change the color on this one. I'm going to add something from that particular palette and make it just a little bit darker, so that I could just a little bit darker, and I'm going to go with a darker tone of that to go with that particular. And the inside, I'm just going to make it white, go from there. So it's starting to shape up. I'm going to just center all of this. And for my particular example, I'm going to make up a coffee shop. So I'm going to call it Cocoa Java. I like cocoa, so I was like, let's just call this coffee shop Cocoa Java. So let's go ahead and choose our font. Choose our font here and call it, I'm going to make it the same color as the outline of that badge, and I'm going to call this Cocoa Java. Here we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and adjust this logo, make it a little bit bigger for this example, bring it in on the size, and make it all caps. And let's go continue to work on this particular logo until I'm happy with. Again, I imported some of the fonts already from where I got them from. I showed you that earlier in the video, and I went with this particular one. So I'm going to choose this one right here, Cocoa Java. And I really like this font. I was able to bring that in. Again, I got it from Font Space, a free platform for different fonts, as you can just check it out later, as mentioned earlier in the video. So I'm going to continue to tweak this, make this resize this, make it a little bit bigger, center everything. All right, it's coming together. So Cocoa Java is beginning to look like a brand now. I'm going to add a little bit more of a style to it. So again, I added some elements in here in the search bar. As you can see, some of these elements. One of the elements that I really like was this little line right here. So I want to just make this line and bring it in here so that we could give it a little bit of style to this particular logo. And I'm going to draw it in closer. Here we go. And then I'm also going to give it the same color, keep it the same brand. So here we go. I'm starting to, coming together. And then one of the other elements that I saw were coffee beans, and this was one that I really liked in terms of the coffee beans. So let's go ahead with those coffee beans and just center it and put it right up there on the top for this badge. Center it, same color, again, keeping it the same color, and there we go. It's starting to come together. Yes, definitely really like how that looks like right there. So this is Coffee Java, the logo for this particular branding that I'm going to use for this poster, and the style that I'm going to go with. Up next, I am doing it this way so that now I can save this. Now that I got everything the way that I like, I'm going to save this and save it with one of the features that Canva has, which is smart mockups. I'm going to share it there, and you will also see, I'm not going to go through the whole process of smart markups because markups, because it's pretty much, it's transfers over, and then I can choose one and I'll show you the final product. I have an example in here that I can upload. So I'm going to just hit save, and I'm going to walk you through as quick as possible through this process right here. So after this downloads, you will see this option right here saying view in smart mockups. So let's go ahead and do that. In here, it's going to give me different examples. I am looking for a coffee cup so that I can utilize for my poster. That's why I ended up going here, and right here I want to do that one right there. So I'm going to adjust this right here and just bring it in so that it will just take up a good portion of that, of my coffee cup, and you can see it right there on my right as it adjusts right in there. I'm still in good shape, good shape, good shape, good shape, good shape. Yep, kind of favoring that right there. I'm going to go with that, like it. I'm going to say crop and continue. So now that I have done that, I am now going to save it right here, and I'm also going to download it so that I could have a high resolution on it. So I'm going to do high. It's going to download for me. It's going to be in my download. So I'm going to go ahead back to the poster that we're going to be working on right now. I'm going to go ahead and upload that image that we got for the coffee cup. As you can see, I did a couple more, but I want to do the most recent one that we have done, which is going to be right here. I'm going to say open. It's downloading right here. We'll go ahead and delete these right here so that way we don't get them confused with the other ones. So that's right there. I'm going to bring that in, throw it in the middle. I'm going to go back to as it's downloading. You guys can see it right there downloading right now. So now I have the coffee, which I want to utilize in the center for this particular project. So I have coffee. I want to go ahead and also utilize the word coffee in my poster. So I want to draw attention that this is coffee. So I'm going to just do this individually as a letter because I'm going to space it out to create some texture, not texture, typography with this particular word. So I'm going to make everything all caps, and let's make it for right now 200. There we go. Let's make it 200 right now. With this being that, this is also, I'm going to be using another font that I downloaded from that particular one, random to bold. I want to go with this particular style for this coffee. So I'm going to just go ahead and move this to the bottom for right now and start just working on the letters. So I'm going to copy and paste and start making the word for coffee, and I want to adjust as I go and make sure that I am somewhat centered. Copy and paste. Let's go ahead and do that again. So right now I'm just writing the word coffee, and I'm using spacing in the letters so that I can create the word coffee all spread apart to create this effect on this poster. All right, we're making progress. Kind of like what I see there. I'm going to just group them all together because I do want them to not give me a hard time in terms of adjusting it, and also when it comes to color, I'm going to make them all white. So here we go. We got one more left. Change it white. Let's make the background just black for right now. Again, the color that we use for this color, we're going to just go ahead and take that and bring it in on the other one because we want to make sure that we're able to utilize it again. I'm going to hit save on this as well because I can find it again in my designs. So I'm going to go ahead and make another one right here. go to my designs, because this is a good way to make a shortcut in terms of finding all your designs. It's going to be generated in terms of, nope, not that one. Let's go ahead and this one right here. Yeah, there we go. So this poster right here has the logo right there, but I'm going to go with a different style for this poster. So here we go. We have the poster just advertising the logo and the brand of this particular business that I'm making up. But I want to utilize that in the overall poster. So there we go. I'm able to pick up the color again for this particular example. So now that I have the word that I wanted, I'm going to bring this to the front, forward, put it in the center. I'm going to try to make it just a little bit big in the center to draw attention to it. I'm going to center that right there, and I'm also going to give it some shadow effect by duplicating this particular one. Everything centered right here. I am going to be bringing the letters in just a little because I want to draw them close together. So let's do that. Group them, and then the same thing with that. And the reason I grouped them right there is to be able to use this particular tool, the position tool, which is the vertical tool right here. Adjust everything. Now that I've adjusted the way that I want that to set, I'm going to go ahead and ungroup them and then group them together. So now let's go ahead and do that again on the cup. Make it smaller, and also make this just a tad bigger and position that in the center. All right, at this point I want to make the shadow for the cup, everything centered the way that I want. I'm going to duplicate that, copy paste, and I'm going to make it now all black. And I do that, the easiest way to do that is just going into the effect for the duotone. I'll just choose random whichever one, and I'm going to make them all, I'm going to make it black, and then I'm going to do the same thing. And you can see already I made it all one color. I'm going to apply, and now that I have that option, I can now adjust where I want this to create the shadow effect. And I'm going to do the opacity lighter and position this to the back of that, and then I'm going to adjust where exactly I want that. So you may not be able to see it as good, so let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit on that. On the background you can hear my kids kind of just having fun going outside. All right, let's adjust on the shadows and make it a little bit blurry. You can see the difference right there. No blur. I'm just going to give it a little bit of blur right there to give it that shadow, a subtle touch on that. So there we go. We have that taken care of, and I am going to continue to do the adjustment on the main picture, because I do want to adjust that right there. So I'm going to adjust that to, let's make it a little bit darker to make it pop right there, and then give it a little bit of more boost on the actual logo. Here we go, something like that. We can see that taking place. Give it a little shadow on the outside. Here we go. All right, it's coming together pretty nicely. Got shadows, and now that I have that set up the way that I want, I am going to adjust the two of these, and I'm going to group them together, so I know that I don't have to worry about them anymore. So they're grouped together. I'm going to lock that in so we don't have any issues down the road. I'm going to also lock in I'm going to lock in with the texture in the back, the letters right there. Now I want to use it in an image for this particular one, for the actual poster. So before I choose an image for the background, I do have one picture in mind that I want to use, but I want to add one more phrase to this. So I want to go ahead and add that. And for this particular phrase, I'm going to go ahead and make the slogan that's going to be titled, here we go, let me zoom in on that part so that we can see it a little bit closer. 50, here we go. So this one we're just going to say fresh, never tasted, and we're going to do 2 of these guys. Center it right here. Let's zoom out just a little bit more. All caps again. I'm going to go with the Lee Gothic on the font for this particular one. Fresh, never tasted, so good on the go. So that's what I'm going to end up doing for this particular one. So here we go. Let's continue that and copy that and change the wording on that one. So good on the go! Exclamation point. Here we go. So slowly coming together. There we go. Make these stand out. We're going to position them in the center. We're going to keep going. I'm going to add a simple rectangle. I'm going to add this to the front just so that I know where this piece is at, and I'm going to just simply add this as a way to make the text pop on the top. I want to make emphasis on this particular phrase up here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right here and duplicate it, make 2 of these guys just like that, position them in the center and position them in the center. There we go. And now I'm going to just go back 1 of those because I want the text to be in the front, and I'm going to make the text color the same as the background color for this particular poster. So here we go. Now we have the slogan that I wanted to use for this project right here. I'm going to group that together. Everything centered the way that I want it. I'm going to group that, make it just a little bit bigger, and kind of add that right there. Okay, so as of right now, things are coming together pretty nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and just zoom out to make it fit. So I have fresh, never tasted, so good on the go, making emphasis on that. I'm actually gonna make that just a little bit smaller and position it in the center. All right, here we go. Got the brand, got the encouragement of, hey, we are still in business, we want to help you, we want to continue to serve the community, and this is just one of those slogans that I kind of just put together in this particular one. I did notice that I did wanted to do something different with this logo right here, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the logo. I'm going to go with elements right here and just choose this. There we go, it's working nicely. I wanted to add this to the logo, and I'm going to make this white. Kind of really like this style for this leaf, so I'm going to position this to the back, middle, center, and to the back. There we go. Yes, definitely. I want to save that, and I'm going to do the same process. Go in here, save it. It's going to save. It's going to ask me the same thing. I'm going to go through the same process, upload it, choose the template that I want in smart mockups, and then bring it back into the project for the poster. And I'm going to go ahead and choose that right there and bring it in and get it the same size as the other one. I'm going to zoom in so that you guys can see a little bit closer. Now this one has the actual pattern on it, which is what I wanted, as you guys can see it right there. Pattern, no pattern. Here we go. Everything centered the way that I want it. And just to make sure that it is, I'm gonna just make it transparent. There it is. Yep, it's what I wanted right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the other one out, send it to the back, take this one out, adjust the add that number that I just did. Perfect. Now everything's accounted for. I have the pattern that I wanted. I wanted that pattern because I wanted to add a particular leaf to this design. So we will see that design right here coming together with the leaves. The elements that I used before are up here, so I'm going to go ahead and use the elements right here. Here we go. I'm going to use this one right here and make it white. I'm going to zoom out to fit, and I want this to be somewhere down here. So I'm going to do something like this number. Yeah, something like that for this poster. I'm going to duplicate that and bring it to the top and add it to the background. There we go, and make it just a little bit smaller and bring it in kind of like, well, actually I'm gonna make it just a little bit bigger too, kind of like that, what it's doing right there. Okay, so on this one I ended up doing the two leaves, kind of incorporating that and doing that. You can see some of the other elements that I was thinking of, kind of adding a texture overlay for some of the grunge look for this poster. But I'm missing the picture, so I have some images that I want to throw in the background. So in the images, some of the images that I was searching by coffee shops and this and that, there was one that I really like, this one right here. I'm going to bring in that one in just like that, starting to shape up. I want to adjust this image right here and give it some boldness to it so that we can make it pop. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust that image right there, and get the coloration for this image as best as we can, and just give it a little bit of vibrance. So I'm going to adjust the colors, the brightness, to give it a little bit more of a bold. So I'm going to adjust all of this up just to get it the look that I want. Kind of like what I see right there. I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to zoom in just a little, see what I got going on with this poster. Okay, it made the image kind of pop a little bit more, have a little bit more of a bold color approach to it. Have my wording, have my I have the things that I wanted in terms of the image right here, some leaves. All right, I do want to add some other elements down here in this poster because I came across these elements in Canva. So it was like a coffee cup and a little barcode. So I'm going to go ahead and use that barcode and just bring it down here and kind of just give it, it doesn't serve much purpose other than it just kind of adds a little cool effect for this particular poster style. So I'm going to go ahead and add that down here, make it somewhat decent size, doesn't have to be too big. It's more for just an element to use down here. And then I ended up using this cup right here that I really like that as well. Again, it doesn't have to have any of the branding. It's just more for just to add to the poster. I'm gonna go ahead and make this even smaller, and yeah, something like that right there. So here we go. Let's go to the fit coming together. Again, I mentioned that I wanted to have some grunge look to this poster, so I'm going to go back to elements. Another element that I found was this particular one right here, and I'm just going to have it go over the entire thing, and I'm going to make it white, kind of give it that feel and look to it right there. Yep, I'm good with that. That's it, positioned in the front already. So right now I can see poster coming together the way that I kind of wanted. Have the logo right here. If I wanted to do that one, I'm going to go ahead and add the element that was missing on the other one, which was the leaf pattern, the big leaves pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right here as well, and add that to the background, position to the background. So yeah, I have now 2 posters that I can advertise. This particular one, which is this right here, and this one at the coffee shop. So again, this is two options for this particular idea in terms of coffee shop and what to do and how to advertise it and promote it. So I'll go ahead and download these 2 in a PDF, have them ready to go, PDF ready to go, done, and I'm going to make them 4 prints, and there we go. I'll go ahead and download them, and you guys will be able to see the finished results in the comments or as one of the last slides for this particular project. Thanks for joining me in this project. Have a good one.
Wow, Ramon, this was truly inspiring. I don't know where to start. Like you really impressed me by the way you were organized, by the way you structured your project. You started with the logo design, you researched your inspiration, your fonts, you come up with the logo, and then you really blew my mind when you used the Smart Mockups integration to actually turn this logo into a cup that you inserted into Canva in order to create the poster. That was genius. I really love that. You just gave me an urge to try the Smart Mockups, to go there and create my own stuff with Smart Mockup, integrated with Smart Mockups. So that was genius. And then I also loved the way you started building your poster around this cup and the typography, the way you put the elements, you change your mind, you come back with the leaf patterns. The whole thing for me was super inspiring, and I'm sure our viewers would have been inspired by your tutorial as well. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for this, for the time you took. So that's pretty much what's up for me. I hope you guys like this tutorial, and before we go, I want to ask Ramon, like, where can people find you, Ramon? Like, where can we learn more about you, about your work with the church? Where can we learn more about you?
Yes, Ronnie, I do have somewhere where the community can follow some of my other things that I'm doing in the social media network. I do have an IG account. You can find me at Weekend Designs. There I just use that platform to be able to create more graphics outside of Canva from different platforms, different softwares. So Weekend Designs is one of them. I also have a community that I just started actually last month called Canva for Church. And the reason that I am targeting that particular group of people is because I also work in a church, and I've seen the importance of how Canva can play a big role in really helping the community within that within that group of people. So yeah, if that is you, great. That community is called Canva for Church, and it's a group that I just started last month. If you want to explore and learn more as I continue to build community in that group. Again, Weekend Designs is my handle on social media. Look for that if you want to continue to follow some of my other designs. And thank you again, Ronnie, for having me. It was a lot of fun.
And that's it for me, guys. Please show some love in the comment section. Tell Ramon what you loved about this tutorial, and we will have another CCC tutorial next week. So I'll see you there.